This Kirblog is all about our time at GDC this week. Oof. I am exhausted. It's Friday night. I've been back home for about a full day or so. Got back late a couple nights ago. Obviously, this is going up on Saturday. Time travel, you know the drill, blah, blah, blah. I have returned from the Game Developers Conference in beautiful San Francisco. And, of course, it's still going on at this time. A couple of my compatriots of the Terrain of Magical Expertise RPG development crew are still there currently, enjoying the convention. I had the pleasure, of course, those of you who didn't keep up with the before and during updates. This is, I guess, the after update, at least for me anyway. I had the esteemed pleasure of getting to go to this convention with Michael Prinke, Nathan Lindley, and Scott Gowan. So the four of us, the main development team of the TOME RPG project. It was the first time that all of us got to be together in person. Individually, some of us had met each other, around. Scott and I are both from California. Michael and Nathan are both in Chicago. But this was the first time all four of us were together. And my God, just real quick, this is going to be a little short one. I just wanted to kind of give a general sort of update of what's going on and give you all a report of what's been happening since when we did the previous one. That was just kind of as things were kicking off. But my God, this was a packed 4 days. I think Michael said it best, is that it felt like a couple of weeks worth of just stuff to do in the span of 4 days. And, I'm certainly feeling the exhaustion of that, being back here and everything. So we all got together on Sunday night. We all arrived and got to our hotel and everything. And I guess to start with, probably the thing that I'm sure you guys are all wondering the most about is, of course, we went out there for some particular business prospects and wanted to pursue possibly being picked up by a publisher. For those of you who don't quite know exactly how this works, just to be real, we haven't walked away with just a finite deal just yet. So temper your expectations, at least for the time being. Of course, we're going to update as things come with that. But what I can say, without getting into too many details, is that we had a couple of really, really good meetings with some potentials that are interested in the project and stuff. We actually did that basically before the main meat of the convention itself started. Of course, the couple days before that, there were a lot of panel talks, and they had the indie booth showcase as well, which we did attend to that on Monday. We actually went and tried out a whole bunch of the different indie games on the show floor, which was a lot of fun. Those were just a small number of the ones that we got to try out later on some of the other sections when the rest of the con hall opened up. But we had some great experiences with that. Met a lot of really nice folks. We had our meetings with two particular publishers basically before the convention started. Over those first few days, we showed them some bits of the Kickstarter demo, a little bit of some updated material, went over, we had a pitch packet that we created ahead of time, which we had a huge shout out to Weston Durant, good old Mr. Cadgett, who was a huge help in the design process of that. It was awesome to have his input, because that's very much up his alley when it comes to his day job. So of course we had that on hand, and a lot of really good discussion about just the overall plan we have for the game and kind of our general scope of everything. A lot of the features that we want to go into, a lot of the improvements that we've made in just these last few months since the Kickstarter got funded, and even since the updates we've made based off of compared to the Kickstarter demo and everything that we had. So those went really well, and we were really all collectively satisfied with everything. Again, nothing is finalized. We may be speaking with some other people as well, depending. That's about as much as I can say about that aspect. But of course, just to let you guys all be aware of, whether we may or may not be getting some additional support on the game, and see where that may take us. We spent the first day on Monday. We took care of one of the meetings. We went to the show floor, tried out a bunch of the indie games, which was a lot of fun. On Tuesday, we actually didn't do anything necessarily con-related. We just kind of just spent some nice quality time together, since this was, there was a momentous occasion of all four of us being together. We explored a little bit around San Francisco. We didn't get to do a whole lot of touristy stuff. That wasn't really the big focus, but tried out a lot of different places to eat, of course. And one particular fun thing we did that I've not done in, I think, at least a couple of years by now, is we actually went to an escape room, the Pan IQ escape room. If any of you guys are local to there, have tried that one before. It was very impromptu. We didn't actually have like a time scheduled, so we kind of got stuck with one of the less interesting of the choices. There were like, I think, 3 different escape rooms, but we decided to do that in particular for some research on a few ideas for puzzles, perhaps to be seen in some levels in the game. I won't go into too many details, but that was a lot of fun. I had not done that in quite a long time, so that was cool, just to make some time kind of offhandedly to do that. And then on Wednesday we had our second meeting, and that was the first like full day of the convention of getting to go around and everything. It was very different actually than I expected. It was a really cool convention. They had a lot of great stuff. So it's like for a first time at this one, it was a good experience. But yeah, definitely very different than the type of stuff that I'm used to, even compared to like gaming centric conventions like PAX and PlayStation Experience. I've never done E3, so I don't know how it stacks up to that necessarily. That's a totally different kind of animal in and of itself. But it was really interesting, like, having a particular section where it was all mainly focusing on showcasing different kinds of tech in particular, and then something a little bit more expected one with just flat out demos of all these different games and everything. And so I went in with, like, I guess not a whole lot of massive expectations, because it was just such a new sort of experience to me compared to any other convention I'd been to before. But it was really cool just getting to go around and see all these different things and all that. Probably the most bizarre thing about just being on the con floor at all was the fact that we just kept running into people that we knew somehow. Well, not somehow, like, there were certainly some cases, and those of you who are maybe following my Twitter probably noticed even a couple people kind of within the Tome family, sort of. For instance, Michaela and John, who were two contributors to the soundtrack of the series. Michaela worked on Heroes Don't Ask Questions, and John worked on the smooth jazz version of Battle On. It was great to see them. Michaela I hadn't seen in a number of years, and John I'd never met in person. Just to name a few cases. I had the pleasure of meeting James Montagna of Way Forward fame, and Michael and Scott actually both knew him from previous work experiences. That was really cool. And I saw Jason Wishnov, creator of There Came an Echo. I hadn't seen him in quite a long time. If I'm forgetting anybody in particular, Alex Kane, who's the writer for Dust and Elysian Tale, Darren, who I worked with on Binary Sonori and a lot of video games. Just a ton of folks. And the crazy thing was, I'm learning very quickly. I mean, this is the case, I think, with a lot of different facets of the entertainment industry, but particularly with the video game world, my God, like, everybody somehow knows everybody else. Like, it was so strange. Like, because, for instance, so we, and if any of you guys happen to be listening to this, shout out to you. We sat on, I want to say, I think it was maybe Wednesday afternoon. We were just kind of chilling out in one of the halls, and there were like 5 different folks that were, I think they were all working in different, they were sound people, all like different companies. Some of them knew each other, etc. But, we all introduced each other and just kind of made some small talk and stuff. And it was crazy because somehow, one way or another, like, each of us all knew, like, somebody else that knew them somehow. There was just like that, like 3 degrees of separation, Kevin Bacon joke, whatever the hell that thing is, that was really happening with, like, virtually everybody out there that we, like, took some time to talk to, which was really cool. It was such a, like, comfortable, like, friendly kind of atmosphere. And, yeah, so that was awesome, and we made a couple new friends and a few contacts, and I was such an idiot because I've not printed business cards for myself in such a long time. So we really mainly had, like, the Tome, like, business little pamphlet things, these kind of like 5x5 things that Scott and I had designed together and got printed and everything. But collected a lot of emails, and it was great, and everybody was really, really cool and really friendly and nice and stuff. So yeah, and then as far as just the overall, I think, best thing I took away from just this whole trip, though, honestly, it was just the time that I got to spend with Mike, Nathan, and Scott, personally. Scott wasn't staying with us because he was local to the area, of course, but just spending all that time together. I mean, he was basically with us, like, the whole time before he would go home at night, and just treating each other to dinner and just powwowing about different crap, even stuff that wasn't related to the game necessarily. We had, like, a night of just watching a bunch of, like, Pokemon videos and talking about Marvel movies and all this different stuff, and just it was a wonderful experience, like, more than anything else, just getting to do that, honestly. In particular, we had a really good meeting. I forget exactly what night it was, but we basically just since we didn't do a lot of like work in that traditional sense, the most of what I did was a little bit of writing. I'm getting semi close to finishing up writing up the main scenario, all the major cutscenes and everything for the full script and all that. So I did a little bit of writing on the plane ride there and back, the short plane ride from LA to San Francisco. But we had a meeting together where we went over all of the QuickTime events of each of the main party member characters, all of their basic techniques, the non-team attacks, so all of their basic techniques that they have, and figuring out exactly what each of them are going to be. Of course, we had some ideas in mind already, but we sat down and just kind of hammered out exactly what we wanted to do with each of them. So we already had kind of like the next week of work or so when everybody else gets back from the convention already lined up. That's actually some of the stuff that I've been working on since I'd mentioned I've been taking a little bit of a break from the animation streams for the backer characters. I'm actually shifting my focus to some spoiler territory stuff that I can't show you, but I can say that I am working on updating some of the animations and special effects and things and any other missing stuff that I have left for, Alpha and Flamey and all of the Dandy Alliance members. And also Scott and I are actually going to be going through and figuring out the exact list of all the different special techniques of the White Hat Hacker character. So we've got a whole lot of, groundwork stuff that we know we're going to jump right back into once Mike and Scott get back from the convention after the end of this weekend. So, a lot of exciting stuff, some really great prospects. It was a great, great trip. I was so happy to see these guys. We had a lot of very warm, heartfelt moments together and stuff, and I miss them already, but, of course, we got to all get back to it, so that's pretty much it. Just wanted to give a little minor update to you all on what's going on with that. I'm still going to be taking a little bit of a break, just as a further update on what's next. I'll be taking a little bit more of a break from doing the animation streams for a bit. I think I actually might, before I do more backer characters, I may actually jump into doing some more monster stream stuff again, because I think I want to start moving into some of the Chapter 3 stuff that I wanted to work on soon. And that includes some enemies, actually. So I may do a little bit of that once, like, April starts. For the rest of this month, I'm going to be continuing to do some stuff that I cannot stream. So if I have time, I'll see about maybe if I can, get some other Kirblog's together, some other update videos, just whatever I can manage in the meantime. And, so plenty more down the pipe. I'll be getting back to the usual stuff. I guess the usual stuff technically is going back to doing Kirblog's again. I guess the new usual stuff is going back to animation streaming, because I've still got plenty of stuff to do and plenty of stuff to show you all. So, keep it tuned for that. And I'll be continuing to make Kickstarter updates and everything as much as possible. This will probably be going up in tandem with one actually today. So I look forward to that. Thanks very much, everybody, for, just keeping up with everything and being so patient. And, I hope you wish us luck as we continue on this long, crazy, arduous year of a whole lot of stuff to do on this game project. I'm feeling really good about this. All of us really are. We've got a lot of high hopes that we're going to do something awesome with this. And, like I always say, it is all because of you. So, keep it tuned, and I'll catch you all soon. Bye.